Hi, my name is Reichling, and for the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you about the progress I have made with my summer job as a research assistant. If you continue to the next slide, you will see a picture of me with two of the older folks at an annual event that I plan every year, the senior prom. In a few moments, I'm going to tell you about the job I have that is helping me get closer to accomplishing my dream of working with the elderly. But before I begin, I'm going to tell you a little bit of background information about myself. I graduated from Virginia Tech in May with a BS in psychology and a BA in communication. I hope to one day have a PhD in clinical psychology and do research in Alzheimer's. That's my long-term goal, but my short-term goal is to get experience in the field before I apply to graduate school eventually. So that is exactly what I'm doing. For this summer, I am working with a doctor in the Human Development Department in the Center of Gerontology. In this presentation, I'm going to discuss what my job entails, what I've completed so far, and how much there is left to be done with the remainder of the semester. Like I said, I'm working for the Center for Gerontology, so for the sake of this presentation, please put yourselves in the shoes of a person who works with the elderly. Now, please go to the next slide. Now that I have given you a short overview of this presentation you're about to hear, let me begin by telling you what exactly my job entails. As a research assistant in the center, my job entails two responsibilities. One is to help a doctor update her book, and the second is to evaluate a federal program. To further explain, my main task for the summer is to help one doctor, Dr. Karen Roberto, update her book called Community Resources for Older Adults, Programs and Services in the Area of Change, which is pictured here. I'm responsible for finding recent research done in several areas all pertaining to the elderly. The book is meant for people who work in the fields of gerontology. So for those of you who are working with older adults, with this book, you are able to tell them about the abundance of resources available to your clients. And like I said, I have two tasks. My second is to help another doctor, Dr. Nanny Brassois, evaluate a federal program. This program is meant to keep older adults off of Medicare and Medicaid and to keep them living comfortably at home. It provides financial support for the participants so they can receive the services and care they need to stay at home. These services could be anything from home-delivered meals to personal aid or special equipment put into the home, such as a shower handle or a wheelchair ramp. So what I do is call up the caregivers of the participants. Those are the people who take care of the participants, which would probably be an older son or an older adult daughter. I give the caregivers about an 8-minute survey asking them their satisfaction with the services their loved ones have received. And this is the second pilot study because the first one was so extremely successful. As you can see in this chart from the report of the first study titled Virginia's Nursing Home Diversion Modernization Grant Community Living Program Outcome Evaluation, done in 2011, 85% were very satisfied with the program. If you look at this next slide, you can see a brochure from the program. So you ask, why is this program so important that it should be reevaluated? Well, according to the findings of the first pilot, it costs between $98 to $125 a day for a person to live in a nursing home. Whereas with this program, a person gets approximately $1,200 every month for the services he or she needs to live comfortably at home. So with this second time around, I'm able to be a part of showing support for the efficacy of this program. Now that I've explained the main duties of my job, let me update you of where I currently stand with completing these tasks. If you look at the next slide, you can see that since I started on June 6th, I have completed 7.5 chapters out of 9 and found a total of 346 articles for Dr. Roberto's book. To give you a better idea of what this book actually includes, I'll tell you the list of chapters that I have completed so far. Volunteer and international programs, education programs, employment programs, income programs, mental health services, housing, care management, and I'm currently halfway done with home care services with one more chapter to go, respite services, before I leave on August 15th. And in regards to my progress of the program evaluation, I've completed a total of 23 surveys and have about 9 left. So far, I found that the participants and their caregivers are extremely satisfied with the program. People would say their loved ones would not be here today if it weren't for this program, and some even say they would probably not have been able to survive without this extra help. Unfortunately, we have found out that the program has recently lost funding. However, the data is still going to be compiled to use in support of bringing the program back. This was extremely hard for me to hear, seeing as how I heard nothing but gratitude and appreciation from the caregivers, but it makes me want to continue on after this to do what I can to bring this program back. In conclusion, I've explained the progress I have made as a research assistant in the Center for Gerontology and how much I have left to complete. In this center, I am responsible for 2 tasks, like I said, those being update a book and evaluate a federal program. I have 1.5 chapters left to find research on. In addition, I have 9 more surveys to give in the program's participants. I hope you have found this to be valuable information to you so that you can take this information to your older clients and tell them that soon a new book on resources available to them will soon be on the market. I am open for questions.
Allie, I was just wondering, have you felt as if this research that you've done is very, has given you a lot of experience? I guess that's what you're interested in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I worked in the research lab for 2 years, so I was kind of doing my own data collection in that lab, whereas from this lab, I'm doing more of what a PhD would do. She has already written 3, this is going to be her 4th edition of this book, so I've seen like all the work that she's put in into just finding recent articles, and something as simple as you would think would be simple would be updating information is actually a really hard process to do, and I've learned a lot about that.
Okay, really quickly, why do you choose the elderly? What gravitates you towards them?
I just have always loved that population and got along with them so well, and I think that's just like the most interesting group of people who could teach you anything you needed to know about life. So that's why I chose the elderly. So as a final statement, thank you for your time, and I look forward to working hard to complete the program evaluation and updating the book before August 15th. So please be sure to tell your clients there will soon be another resources book on the market, and remember looking back and hearing about, I remember when that book was still in the works.